Hey guys, so today I want to do a review on the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation. I've been wearing it for a few days and I didn't want to do like a first impression on a foundation. Although I have done a first impression before, I'd rather do a little bit more of an in-depth review about it rather than just tell you how it looks when I first put it on my face. So I have worn it for a few days, so I think I kind of know what I'm kind of talking about. So let's just jump straight into it. So this came out probably a few weeks ago. I waited for Superdrug to get it because I'd prefer to be able to check the colour in store rather than online. Now what I found is I didn't even bother to look online to see what the shade range was like because I knew I wanted to just wait until it came into the Superdrug store. But even on the stand it had like little swatches, like pictures of the swatches, and the color that I have and the corresponding color in the picture on the stand in store are completely different. So this is the color that I got. It's called F10. Hopefully that is all in focus. The color that they had depicted was literally white. So if I had purchased this online, I would have been way off. This foundation is £5. I absolutely love the packaging. It is in my favorite kind of shade. It's like a nudie peachy kind of color, and then it has rose gold accents. So the writing and also this part here, I don't know what it's called, but the twist up part, it's all rose gold. I love me some rose gold. And at the bottom it has the shade number. It's also matte. Like the outside packaging is matte. I absolutely love that. It makes it feel a little bit more luxe. It is light, and I think that the product inside just helps to give it that little bit of weight, so it doesn't feel too overly cheap, because obviously this is plastic and plastic does tend to give you the feel of being cheap. But considering it's a £5 product, I am rather impressed with the packaging. Okay, so onto the actual foundation. I didn't find out what the finish was like. I didn't find out anything about foundation. I just wanted to jump headfirst into it, and especially as I'm not spending a load of money on it. But even if it was a foundation that was not right for my skin type or that I would end up not liking, it's not like I was breaking the bank anyway. When I first used it, I found that the coverage was medium. I did have to go in on my chin a little bit more, and I also have a couple of other blemishes around my face as well, and I found that it didn't completely cover all of the parts that I wanted to cover. So I think that if you had really good skin that doesn't have any pimples or marks on it, this would be a really nice foundation for you. But if you do want to cover any of your marks that you have on your face, this may not necessarily cover everything. Now the finish of the foundation, it was basically like a demi-matte. So it was just basically like my skin. So it had a very healthy kind of glow to it, but it wasn't completely matte. I used it alongside my Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. Now I don't know how I look on the camera right now, but I've been working all day and I haven't touched up for this video, just so you can see exactly what foundation looks like after a full on day. I think it's probably been about 15 hours since I've put this foundation on, so let's just keep that in mind, okay? Even the other days that I wore it, I found that I did not have to blot very often. With other foundations, I find that I have to be blotting all the time, but this did not need blotting. Not a lot of my shine and my oils peeked through. There is some now, but generally it just was not giving me that problem. So I felt very confident using it, especially as I know that I'm the type of person who likes to have a matte face. I don't like to look shiny. On the opposite side of that, I do have to advise that the areas that I did cover up a little bit more tended to fade away quite quickly throughout the day. Even when I did go in with a little bit extra on those marks that I mentioned earlier, it was kind of pointless because it faded away. Even though I did go over my foundation with a banana powder. That's something that you need to keep in mind. I found that I'm able to blend this foundation out very, very well with a brush. I don't tend to use sponges for my foundation, period. I mainly use sponges for concealer, contour, but not for my foundation. So I can't really comment on how it will work with a sponge, but with the brush, it blended out beautifully. I have found that it is very long lasting. Well, it looks good throughout the day. As I said, some areas did fade away, but it does look good throughout the day. And again, I just did not have to blot as often as I normally would with another foundation. If you are looking for a full coverage foundation, this wouldn't be it. This is, to me, medium, and that's it. It's not going to, even if you try to build it up, it's just not going to go to that next level. So I just want you to be prepared for that should you decide that you want to have a look at this foundation. I am going to put up on the screen how many shades they have in their range, but they did have quite a few shades in store, but the store that I go to is quite small, so I know they didn't have every single shade, but they did have quite deep shades. Do not rely on the pictures online. You need to go in store and you need to swatch it. You need to. And definitely, if you're my complexion and you go for the F10, have a look on the display and see exactly what the F10 depiction is like in comparison to what it actually looks like. So for those of you who are concerned about the weight and things like that, you know already that I'm just not that person. Affordable is affordable, expensive is expensive to me. But just for those of you who want to know, this product has 6.2 grams of product, which is 0.218 ounces, and it's also vegan and cruelty free, and the shelf life is 12 months. I don't see myself going past the 12-month shelf life with this, because I tend to find that stick foundations get used up a little bit more quickly than fluid foundation, but that's just me. And considering I've only used it a few times, and I don't know if you can see, like, this is how much I've used. It was all the way at the top. It was literally flush with the top, and this is how much I've used over the past few days, but I've got this much left. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'll probably see myself going through this within the next 2 months, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Overall, do I like this foundation? I think it's a nice everyday foundation for somebody who already has really, really good skin, who just wants to help enhance their skin and just make it look a little bit more even. Somebody who's not looking to have like a full coverage beat. So I do like this foundation, and especially for the fact that it's £5. I am going to be comparing this one to my L'Oreal Infallible Stick Foundation, but I wanted to give this one a video all on its own. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.